Hello, what's up? Day 3 of the journey. Hope you're doing excellent. Today is Wednesday, September the 7th. And to be honest, you really gotta think about who you're partnering yourself with. Let me explain. Guys, I may not have done the right now I do realize that I may not have done the smartest business decision, which is to kind of start with somebody you're dating with, a business that you are basically building your life around, especially when you're young. And I do think that's maybe not the smartest idea I've ever had, let's be honest about that, but you know, I'm pretty young and sometimes I do dumb mistakes, but this is definitely something that it can go extremely great, but it can go horribly wrong. But to be honest, I'm like, what if I lose? Like, what if I do lose 2-3 years building that business up and like just end up doing something else that I didn't plan on? Well, I would be really pissed. And that would be a problem for the business. But the thing is, because we kind of went on the agreement since the beginning that this would be a business thing, which in general, I never do that, to be honest, guys. I never do that. I never do that for a simple reason, because for me, there should always be somebody that's taking the decisions. Now, I do believe that in some situations when you have two leaders specifically strong in their own areas, they should share decisions like that. And I thought that this would be an interesting play to do, because I never did those kind of collaborations. The only problem with that is that right now she's working like 2 jobs at the same time and other things, trying to get pretty, stay in shape as well, because fuck, well, we're having a fitness business, so this takes some time as well. And like for me, I'm full on this project, but like the time investment on both sides is not the same. And I'm going full raw with you guys, like full raw. And sometimes, and I will never be able to tell it in the moment. I think I will have to basically have things happen to me and wait on, and then take a conclusion of what happened, and then make sure I get the lesson from the situation. But I don't know if that. Okay, I should tolerate that, or I should be ruthless and be fucking like, okay, like, hey, I need you to be on this, or else I'm gone, And that's pretty hard to do. And I think I did a good job to not letting my emotions guide whatever I wanted to do recently, because I was able to get rid of most of them. But the thing is, yeah, to get rid of most of these emotions. But the real thing is that I don't let emotions affect my decision making that much anymore. In most situations. But I do think that, yeah, to be honest, I think I'm enough for that person. So, and this is weird saying that to you. But actually, I'm okay, because I'm saying that in English and nobody can understand me. So that's in French. So that's the good news. But I definitely I thought about this. I could go like, okay, I'm not telling like everything I'm thinking right now, because it's maybe a bit too raw and maybe it can cause me problems. But I'm like also, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Like, if I do want to document the journey, I gotta show every fucking thing that's happening to me right now in the rawest, truest form. So right now, what's happening is that I've basically worked on that business for like, I don't know, 10 hours a day. And to be honest, that's one of those days where you actually crush things and like destroy your fucking to-do list. You had like a lot of things that were building up, and then you're like, whoa, in one day everything goes away, and that's some beautiful feeling. I feel so good. And the thing is, yeah, I don't know if that's a choice that I made to take on a partner, and that partner being the person I'm dating, which means that it complicates the business games and the dating game as well. Because, guys, just to give you a heads up, she's not the easy girl. Like, she's the kind of girl that, hey, don't need any man. and I gotta basically put myself in, well, put myself in there, so to say. But the idea behind that is, I choose not to date somebody that doesn't need a man or doesn't look actively for somebody else in that certain frame, because the framing when you look at this is extremely important. Because in the past I was in relationships with people that, with girls that basically were having a lack and wanted to complete it with somebody else. They had a hole and wanted to fill it up with somebody else. And the problem with that was that those people are insecure, and for me, the type of person I want to become, I am already kind of, and the shit I want to do, I cannot be around those people, because I found out most of the times that they crumble under pressure. They're not able to take they can't handle the pressure, like the hard stuff, hard things, hard moments. I was basically alone, and I felt really like, fuck, like this is not the way I want to end up. And in the last relationship I was letting my emotions drive everything, and I was like, fuck, this makes no fucking sense on paper. And I stayed in there for 1 year and a half. And to be honest, like, if I could have left after 6 months, I would have been okay, but it went down and down and down. And I didn't have the balls at the time to actually cut the things and say, okay, fuck off, this doesn't work. So now I'm extremely picky, but it's not really picky, it's just that I know exactly what I'm looking for. Of course, I'm always learning something new that I gotta adjust, but I've got an idea of what I don't want and what I do want. And this girl, because now I'm basing all my decisions on logic. I can definitely see that on paper this makes like freaking sense. But when I say sense, like it's freaking like likes entrepreneurship, likes doing sports, have a vision. He's a bit like a crackhead, like, like want to do some crazy shit, and I can go on and on things like this. But the thing is, hey Gabriel, like, did you let your emotions basically like make you only see the positive side but not see the bad sides? And that may be the case. And the thing is, I cannot only really see right now, because if that's the case, I'm making my best to detach. But if that's really the case, then I'm not able to tell at the moment. But I think, worst case scenario is I feel bad for some time. I get more aggressive. I get more aggressive in the gym and in the business. And I get more results, even though I feel sad for some period of time. Which is, I'm going to survive that. I value life too much. I'm going to survive that. So there is no problem with that. So yeah, the basic idea with that was that, hey, the downside, I can tolerate the downside. I can tolerate the worst case scenario happening. So I was like, okay, you know what, fuck it. And the best case scenario is, like, this happens, the business crush it, and I'm also getting the relationship I think I want as a bonus. Stack that bonus in there. And that's a pretty good scenario for me. And I think that, you gotta try those best case scenarios, because if there is a 10% chance that you get a freaking like jackpot, hey, I think I'm in a position to actually try it out. And I think maybe you are in a position too, and you are hesitating on taking that big step, that big decision, and you're always like turning around not doing it. But you already know what you need to do, brother, sister. You know what you need to do, so freaking do it. And I'm saying that, but right now I've got all those decisions that I do struggle to make. Big things, but it's about brainwashing yourself. I do think that brainwash is good. Freaking like destroying your old beliefs, your old self, and making sure that the only thing that is left is what's going to take you where you want to go. I do believe in that 100%. Oh, but Gabriel, what about the good times in the past? I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna have my memory, I'm still me. I just want to make sure that I'm ready for what's next, because if I don't have the things I want in the next step of my life, it means that the person I am right now and the person I was in the past is not able to get those things. Meaning that I got to change. And what got me there will not get me to the next level. I thought about that. I saw a post about with Leila Almozi, really smart girl, and she talked about the fact, and I didn't realize it once, but she talked about like how people wanted to build businesses and all that. But there are two kinds of businesses. We got lifestyle businesses and real businesses. And the difference between the two is that when you're doing a real business, you're making sacrifices for your own like lifestyle, like preferences to actually make a business work. While a lifestyle business will sacrifice on making the business work the best, but will give you the most comfortable lifestyle possible. And I think that when I was starting out, I was extremely caught and excited about this idea of the lifestyle business. But as time passed, I realized that I truly love that, and now I see myself naturally doing more and more sacrifices to actually get to build something that really matters and that makes a difference and that works really well. And but I cannot think like the me before that was, okay, let's build something, but I do not want to work too much on it. I cannot think like that right now. The old me that actually got me on the train, on the entrepreneurship train, cannot get me to the next level that I want. And I think it's exactly the same thing with 99% of the things in life. It applies to everything. Another example. What example can I say? Maybe my fitness journey. If I look back at it, what got me in the fitness journey was pure rage, suffering about who I was and the fact that I thought I wasn't good enough. But then I had a transition phase because ultimately everybody, I think every guy, and I put in the comment if that's the case, but I don't know for you guys, but every guy says it's not for the girls. Look at me dead in the eyes and be honest, bro. Man, I convinced myself it wasn't for that, but it was maybe not the number one reason, but it wasn't there. Wasn't there, really. Because when I did got more confident, better, and actually got girls, I saw that the range disappeared, attenuated, and I wasn't as consistent, disciplined as I used to be. So what got me there, the rage, the freaking suffering, wasn't able to fulfill me next. So then what did I had to shift basically. What got me there cannot get me to the next level. I was stagnating, even regressing at some point. What I had to do is to find another kind of purpose, change my angle at which I saw things. And oftentimes I do not think that, or at least for me, you cannot call on those things like, oh, I want to do this. Okay, now my brain thinks like that. It's more, as I told you guys, brainwashing yourself. Like, again, telling you the thing, again. And you're telling this thing in your head for like 2 months. And then it clicks. And for some reason you see yourself doing things different. For no reason. But then when you look back at it, it's because at this point you had that epiphany that made you do the thing. But it's not like, okay, let's think logically for this now. Now I'm going to do this thing. If it was that easy, man, I would love it too. But it's really brainwashing yourself every day, all the time, making sure that the old you disappear so that the new you can be in there. That's really what worked for me. And now the new fuel for getting the fit that I want is that thing that I just told you. Is I know what the old me looks like, but when I was the old me and I look at what I am right now, in the past I never knew that I could be what I am right now. And I get little highlights of what is ahead of me, what I can do, what I can get from other people, and knowing the potential I've got and the progress I'm making. And I'm kind of visualizing things and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, what you never thought you would be able to do in the past compared to now, there's actually a way bigger gap. Like I think 100 times bigger of a gap from the person you are right now to the person that you can become in the future. And that's fucking big for me. Because I'm like, oh shit, what if I die being a little bitch? What if I die not being still suffering with those insecurities? Because honestly that's it. Suffering with those insecurities about not being enough in the sense of, hey, I can actually fix those things and become a person that performs better, and that I don't know what to qualify that feeling, but that feels like I freaking gave it my all and ended up having a good finished product, or at least unfinished product, but that had to be finished because we all die at some point. But to and also to make sure that along the way I plant those same seeds into other people, I can actually do the same with them. And if I can do that in my own circle and influence a little part of the world with what I would have went through, I think this would be worth it. So yeah, really deep, and I appreciate that I'm able to go that deep, and I think that's because of true raw honesty that I'm able to give that to you guys, and I'm going to make sure I keep that 100%. Open my heart to everything and make sure that I share with you what's the real shit that's happening at the moment, so you guys can truly see the behind the scenes, what's really happening in there, and how I'm trying to become better every day, and maybe by documenting the process I have about somebody. So if you love the journey, make sure that you share it with somebody else, and that, hey, comment in the comment section what you are working on right now. I'm curious. I want to know what your journey looks like. Come on, be great, guys, because you are.